like I said, he always has me doing something different because it's his will, it's something better. And it's crazy because of what I was going to give, I probably won't even give that no more. Because, you know, it said after baptisms or somebody confesses that Jesus is the Lord and their Savior, that the devil gets pissed off, that he gets mad, that he's throwing a temper tantrum for more stuff. Even though it keeps inviting him to test you more when you confess things like that, because he's like, guess what? I know the Bible inside and out. Sin does get its power from the law, but not how you think. You know, it's our expectations why sin is able to piggyback the law. And because of what we read and we understand, we think that what we're doing is right, or what they're doing is wrong. And that, no, they needed to do this, no, they needed to do this. No, you needed to check yourself. Period. Because your expectation is what's letting the devil, letting sin piggyback the law. And he's mad because I came even before praying to tell you guys a little testimony that I had to give you guys, or testimonial. And he got mad because I'm pretty sure now, we all know, especially you two and you, pretty sure you and everybody else who's in these seats, that three is a pretty powerful number.
Amen.
Amen.
And 3 times now has he done tried to mess with the camera. Because he doesn't want what I have to say. He doesn't want people hearing it. Because it didn't start till after I said, when Pastor Vic gets to see this, or whoever sees this gets to see this. So he's pissed off. He's trying to stop it. So whatever it is that you feel he keeps messing with, know that you're doing the right thing. Know that you're doing the right thing. Me and my wife, we were going through some things, arguing real bad. It was looking real bad. But I kept pushing through, because even when she was mad, and she was crying and pissed off, telling me to leave her alone, I said, no, it doesn't matter, we're gonna deal with this. So when you get done, we're gonna deal with it. And I thought I was being selfish and I was being an asshole and that I was being for myself. But truth be told, it got me to air things out that I was holding up and that wasn't even a part of the conversation. To, right after it happened, I felt like it did when we first got together. Because he kept testing me. He was getting pissed off because I said it more than once and I keep saying it and it's pissing him off. And every time when I say, I'm going to go into the ministry, I'm going to do this, you know, and it's not just because I made a note. Now it's because I'm feeling led to do it. Because every time I speak, to see people go like this, that's what it's about. Is that some seed they grabbed. I put him here. Or he gave me the seeds to show you, and you guys chose to grab them. And that's what it's about. But when you grab them, don't sit stagnant with them. Don't just let them stand there and sit, because we all know everything dries and withers away. So, whatever you guys are doing that you feel, it's like, brother, how does he keep going at me? Why is he still getting mad to where now you're not walking in what he's called you to do, or even when you feel that you are, like I said, you can feel that you are, but if you're not being held accountable, realize that you are drifting away from the promise. The promise never moved away from you. You moved away from it. The door has always been open because he said it at the beginning. This is what I'm going to do if you do what I say. The promise is right here. It's your choice to walk through this door. And there's points and times, like I said, even with me and my wife, because I'll stick to that the most, even though there's other things I want to hit on. I'll stick to that. Even with her, I kept feeling I was doing the right thing, but I was doing the wrong thing. Because I kept forcing, but I wasn't doing it from a loving way. You know, and there was something that I'd written up about her brother coming to live. I wrote up like a lease agreement type deal, and I didn't understand it till now. That she said, "Babe, where is the love in this? I don't see no love." And I'm like, he don't need love. He needs structure. And then I was like, looking at it now, I was like, damn, I was doing it about myself. Because when she said the words love, and I said, he doesn't need love, I messed up. Because like I said earlier, this crazy guy, he's funny. Goes, I'm not asking you to like everything, but I'm asking you to love. Because even when the Ten Commandments get simplified down, it's to love the God your Father, and to love your neighbor like you would love yourself. And I, with my expectations, was taking that out because of what I expected you to do. Regardless if he was right or wrong. That's what I expected. So I said, you know what? You don't need the love. You don't need, basically I used what I felt was my power to take grace away. And I have no right. And that's why me and her were damn near arguing and couldn't stop. Is because I went against the vow that I made to God. I went against, and he gave me a real fast reality check. And I was like, but it wasn't so fast because it just never felt like it stopped. And it was just to the point to where I just wanted to just, I'm not even going upstairs. I don't want to deal with her. I'm just tired, you know. But it was me. And then I still went. Man, we were at it hard again. We'd be sitting there and just like, as long as we don't talk, we're fine, you know. Just, you don't say nothing, I won't say nothing.
Netflix and chill.
You know, straight up. You just stay over there. No. Space. Stay over there. You know? Basically, how my brother likes to put it, his favorite line is, just give it space. Just give it space, right? But I didn't realize that that space that I was given, because that's what I said, you stay over there, I stay over here. That's putting a boundary. That's saying, God, you can't work right now because I'm pissed off. Because I'm mad, I'm upset, I'm sad, I'm all these things put into one. So I said, God, you can't do it. Oh, I can't, can I? Well, now watch what happens because you told me no again. I'm pretty sure they didn't like wandering for 40 years. I'm pretty sure they didn't like marching around Jericho, because I'm pretty sure it's a pretty big kingdom. And they're like, for real, we can't. We just got do some little stuff, you know. But if you weren't telling me no here, you wouldn't have to suffer here. And basically, I told him no. So literally, almost for a month and a half, it kept getting worse. It kept getting worse. Even when I said I was doing God's will, I felt so good. It's like God showed me, because it was His will, it was His word that I gave, and I was just felt tough. I was so amped up that it just seemed like I was on a high. And when I finally got done, literally I had to lay on the couch and I couldn't even fall asleep, but I was so tired. My eyes were doing this, watching the football game, and just, I couldn't even get hyped up. You know, I was wore out from it. So it let me know that that's what God wants me to do. Because even when you feel that you're tired, Put your burdens on me and I'll carry you. And that was what I wasn't doing. I said, no, you got to stay right here. While I stay right here, God, you're on timeout right now, okay? Because it wasn't her that I put on timeout, it was God. And I'm pretty sure it's not too wise to be putting God on timeout.
Yeah, thank you.
Because while I'm putting him on timeout, it's not him that's moving away. It's me that's moving away. The door stayed here. Like I said, the door stays here. The promise is here that he says that forever and a day, it's going to be here. But because I said I needed space, but in a pissed off way, he says it in a nice way. I say it in a pissed off way. I was drifting and didn't even know it. And that's why I told Pastor Allen, I said, you know what? I said, bro, I needed to hear what you had to say. I said, now I know why my wife got mad at me, because God was giving me another reality check back then, but I just didn't see it. Like I was telling her, I said, babe, I feel like I'm not hearing from God like I was. And it's pissing me off because I'm doing what he's telling me to do. I can feel it. There was no other reason why I was on a 2-hour high when I was ready to go to sleep before I even got in the car to go home. There's no reason why I stayed up for 2 hours and then as soon as I hit the bed, fell asleep like that. But I was up like 3 hours, 4 hours before church even started. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go to her mom and dad's. There was no reason why I went to bed super late, woke up super early, and didn't even feel tired. Didn't even feel tired. So he showed me if I'm doing what he's asking me to do, then you won't have these problems. And so, like I said, he showed me, but I still went ahead, just like when he took him out of Egypt. He showed him, I have the power to do it. I'm going to show you. Showed him. But after we get a little comfortable, basically complacent, we're not being consistent like he tells us to be, things start happening. I'm like, why the hell does she not just do what I say? God, don't you just say, let me do it right. God, don't you just say that straight up, period, that she's to be obedient to what I say? To what I say? Because I'm the head, right? Right? Isn't that what you say? And he goes, you're playing a game. You don't want to play. No, God, you don't understand what I'm talking about. You told me that she has to do what I said. Because if I'm giving sermons, if I'm ministering to people out on the street, that she has to do what I say because I'm showing her that I'm doing your will. And he goes, you're playing a game. I'm like, no. You just need to stop talking in gibberish and tell me what it is. Because now you're irritating me because I'm doing what you asked me to do. And I know, it sounds funny talking to God like this, right?
No.
You know?
I do it
exactly.
all the time.
So, you know, I'm just glad to see it's not just me. That's that flesh that we're supposed to carry. You know? But I couldn't understand it. But this is the kind of conversations that he has. This is building a relationship with him. So that way when he finally tells me to do something, I'm like, you know what? Make it right? No problem. Stop. Sit down. I do it, no problem. And I take more and more of me out of the equation and let him fill my heart. So that way when I ask for things or when I'm doing things, I won't have to go through basically almost 2 months of arguing. For nothing. Because it did it for nothing. Because I could have still got the same result of what I got if I would have just listened when she warned me. When he used her to warn me, about, babe, there is no love in this. If I would have listened, because like Pastor Allen said, there's always a warning. There's always a warning. But I got so full of myself. I'm like, basically I'm, basically is what happened. And he said, you're not there. Stop. No, I am. You'll see. I'll show you. And does it ever work? Does it ever win? Do we ever win? Does it ever work when we tell God, I'll show you?
Nope.
So, he showed me. And
yeah, it works for a harder lesson.
Exactly. That's the point. But I don't want you guys to have to keep going through. And like I said, it didn't make sense until after talking to the gentleman. I was like, you know what? Because even after he started talking, and everything that he was talking about was literally the services that I gave. I told him, I said, bro, it makes sense. And I know I said it earlier and I just didn't answer it. Why my wife, or I just didn't finish the statement, why my wife got mad because I was going to go check it out without her. She's like, for real? You're going to go without me? No, I guess I'm not going now. Whatever. Because this is still in the midst of us arguing. Because I'm like, you know what, maybe I need to find something. No, I just need to, like I said, make it right, stop, and sit down. And I chose to go left, start running, and just standing, So that's what I decided to do. And needless to say, it didn't work out too well for me. But it did. Because I still got to where he wanted me to be. I didn't have to go through all this strife, like he says. Like Pastor Allen said, don't cause unnecessary strife in your life. For what? And that's what I kept doing. And I'm like, man, this dude right here is just tripping me up. And I went and told him, I said, bro, you won't believe this. Because I went up to him after the first one, I told him, I said, you know what, I appreciate it. I said, it makes sense what you were saying. I said, it's good stuff, and da-da-da-da-da. I said, you're a blessing, bro. You really were. But I was tired. Like I said, I had to come get ready for what I was supposed to do here. The promise that I didn't even make it this time, but I did back here. I said, when you call on me, I'll speak. Regardless if it's this time, I'm going to do it. Because I was even struggling with it. I told her, I said, hey, do you think I should do it? And this is her answer every single time. I don't even know why I asked, because it never changes. Is that if you feel led to do it, I'm like, that's you. But it's the only answer that I meant to give. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. That's when I started asking you guys. And I told her to call, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. But then, I was trying to make it a surprise. I was just going to show up while you guys were there and just be like, yeah, but it kind of didn't work out that way because it's someone's birthday. So, happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
A day closer to 30. But I went and I told him, you know what? I said, it's crazy, all the things that you talked about. I said, because I've given a couple sermons. I said, I've given 2 real sermons, I said. And this is what I told her. I said, I've given 2 sermons. I said, for my first one, I said, it was really like a testimony. Excuse me. But I told him, I said, I went over Psalms 23, and I just went over Psalms 91. I said, those were my first 2 real sermons that I gave. Because when I gave the first one, it was more of a testimony, and when I gave this one, it was like testimony. It was like testimony, and then it got the on from sermon. So it was really more testimonial than it was sermon. You know, even though all our testimonies are sermons anyways, because it's all used to uplift. You know, but in the context, it was more me talking about myself than talking about the Word of God. You know, which those are very fine line, those two. Because it is the exact same thing, just done a different way. But I told him, and he goes, "What?" I said, "Yeah, bro." I said straight up. I said those were my first. He goes, "Man, you gotta be kidding me!" And he's tripping out, you know. And it's like I said, because each time I felt compelled after he got done talking to go up and talk to him. And for the most part, I was the only one who did. I wasn't going up there to hug and, "Hey, bro, yeah, you know, you did good." No. It was, "I'm going to talk to you as a man, just like Jesus did. I'm not going to be like, 'Hey, bro, you know, you did good. You did good. Keep up the good work.'" You know? I went and told him, I said, "Bro, this touch, it made sense." I said, "It let me know. It gave me the confirmation of the things that I did were it's what he wanted me to do. Even though I had to suffer because my own stupidity, because like I said right here, I told God, you need a timeout. Not that we needed a timeout. You needed a timeout because I didn't let you come and fill this place. I didn't come let you fill my heart. I stopped you from filling her heart, even though I can't stop you. But because I put you on a timeout, you respected what I said. I said, guess what? Now you can have yourself more. All right. So needless to say, like I said, I was glad that my wife stopped me because I was meant to hear what this gentleman had to say, not what anybody else had to say, what he had to say. Because I told him, I said, "Bro," I said, "you know how we all look for confirmation." I said, "and everything you just did gave me confirmation that what I'm choosing to do about stepping into ministry and the sermons that I gave and what I talked with everybody was the right thing to do." So basically, stop putting God on timeouts. Stop telling him he can't do what he says he can do. Because he's going to do it regardless if you're listening or not. He's just not going to force you. He's going to go to the next one. It's like people who get mad when they get passed over because they're still sitting in the pews when they're asking for somebody to stand up. You had your chance to stand up. You chose to sit. This person's standing up. So don't get mad that they're getting called up and you're getting passed over. Don't get mad. Because right there, when you chose to sit, you put God on a timeout. You put him on a timeout. And basically, that's what kind of happened. I'll just touch a little bit of what I was going to talk about. It's Isaiah 46. And these Babylonians, the Chaldeans, because I had to look it up because I was like, what is in the booth? Well, I know
Star Wars.
No, it says a different way, you know. But it says, Bel bows down, Nebu stoops low. Their idols are born of beasts of burden. Like I said earlier, God, or Jesus and God, never kept their head down when they talked to you.
What verse was that?
It's
46:1.
46, verse 1. Apologize, chapter 46, verse 1. The NIV is what I'm reading. It's what I like to do, is read out of the NIV. So every time when I speak, for those in this house, or this room in the house, I'm always going to read out of the NIV. Like I said, when I shook the man's hand, I said, I'm glad that you had a man handshake and you looked me in the face. I told him, and I did it just like this. I'm pretty sure Jesus, he said, you know, my dad always told me to have a man's handshake and look him in the eye. I said, that's good. I said, because I'm pretty sure Jesus never went like this, hey, how's it going? Jesus was never like Bel in the booth. or well, however you want to call it, you know, and he never kept his head down, so nor should we. Nor should we. You know, and then it goes, the images that are carried about are burdensome and a burden for the weary. So it's these people who chose not to listen to what God told them to do. They chose to follow these other gods, or ones that they called gods, or what they chose to believe in. Because God never takes never takes grace away. He doesn't take your choice away. So it's what they chose to believe in, and they found out how much their gods couldn't do what he said he could do and was going to do, and what he has already done. He said, they stoop and bow down together, unable to rescue the burden. They themselves go off into captivity. Basically, they chose not to follow him. And said, you know what, I got this. And basically, it's what I did. I chose to say, God, I got this. God, I can lift almost 300 pounds. What? Nothing. But it was something. Because while I put him on timeout, I was telling him I could do it. And he respected my decision and said, you know what? You'll see. Son, you will see. I go, okay. So, as I'm carrying this burden, basically, I'm doing what these two gods of the Babylonian times and the Chaldeans who choose to worship them were doing. I was putting my face in the dirt when God says,